My friends, listen carefully. One of the greatest mistakes we make in life is expecting people to applaud us for doing what we are supposed to do. We think that just because we are working hard, because we are pushing through challenges, someone owes us recognition. But the truth is, nobody cares. Let me tell you something. Life does not reward effort alone. It rewards. You can sweat, you can grind, you can sacrifice, but if you are waiting for someone to acknowledge your struggle, you are wasting time. People are too busy dealing with their own lives to sit and watch you climb. They don't see the late nights, they don't see the sacrifices, they don't feel the pain, and guess what? That's okay. You were not created to live for approval. You were created to fulfill your purpose. Stop waiting for validation. Stop looking for someone to say, I see you. Because if you truly believe in what you are doing, that should be enough. The vision God gave you is your responsibility, not theirs. You see, the eagle does not ask permission to fly. It spreads its wings and soars. A lion does not wait for the jungle to recognize its roar. It dominates. Likewise, you must stop looking around and start looking within. What are you called to do? Where are you supposed to be? The only thing that matters is your purpose, your assignment, your destiny. My friends, listen carefully. One of the greatest deceptions in life is believing that effort alone guarantees success. Many people work hard. They wake up early, they stay up late, they sacrifice their time, and yet they remain frustrated. They wonder why doors aren't opening, why success seems so far away. But let me tell you something. Life does not reward effort alone. It rewards results. The problem with many people is that they think just because they are busy, they are making progress. But busyness is not the same as effectiveness. A man can run in circles all day and still be in the same place. The world does not pay you for trying. It pays you for producing. You are not measured by how much you struggle. You are measured by what you accomplish. A farmer can work hard, sweating under the sun, plowing the ground day after day, but if he never plants seeds, will he have a harvest? No, because hard work without strategy is wasted energy. You can work hard at the wrong thing and still end up with nothing. That is why you must not only work, but work wisely. You must ask yourself, what am I doing that is actually producing results? What am I building that will last? What am I investing my time in that will bring a return? You see, many people are waiting for someone to recognize their effort. They want the world to see how much they are trying, how much they are struggling. But let me tell you something. Nobody cares how hard you try. People only care about what you deliver. A company does not promote employees because they work hard. They promote them because they bring value. An athlete does not win a championship because he trained. He wins because he performed. The world does not stop to celebrate potential. It celebrates manifestation. And this is where many people get it wrong. They think that because they are dedicated, because they are committed, because they put in hours, success will automatically follow. But success does not come from activity. It comes from productivity. The question is not how hard you work, but how much impact you are making. You can see this principle even in nature. A tree does not stand in the forest demanding recognition for growing. It simply produces fruit. And when it produces fruit, people come to it. They don't come because the tree struggled. They come because the tree delivered something valuable. Your life should be the same. Instead of telling people how much you are trying, show them what you have built. Instead of complaining about how hard life is, let your results speak for you. That is why you must focus on outcomes, not just effort. Hard work is important, but without results, it is meaningless. Some people spend years complaining that no one appreciates their effort. But the truth is, no one owes you appreciation for what you are supposed to do. A pilot does not get a standing ovation for landing a plane. A doctor does not receive applause for treating a patient. Why? Because that is their job. The same applies to you. If you want recognition, stop looking for it, just produce. Because when you produce, people will notice. And let me tell you something else. Stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to convince people that you deserve success. Stop telling people how much you are sacrificing. The world does not reward excuses. It rewards execution. If you want to be successful, let your work speak for itself. So, my friend, I challenge you today, shift your focus. Don't just work hard, work smart. Don't just be busy, be effective. Don't just struggle, produce. Because life does not reward effort alone, it rewards results. Now go and make it happen. One of the biggest traps in life is waiting for someone to validate your dreams. Too many people spend their lives looking around, hoping for approval, seeking confirmation that they are on the right path. They want family, friends, or society to acknowledge their efforts before they feel confident enough to move forward. But let me tell you something. Stop seeking validation. Your vision is your responsibility. When God gives you a vision, He does not send a committee to approve it. He does not hold a public vote to see if others agree. He gives it to you because it is your assignment. But the problem is many people don't believe in their own calling unless others believe in it first. They wait for applause before they take the first step. They hesitate. They second-guess themselves. They slow down, all because they are too concerned with what others think. Let me ask you a question. If no one ever encouraged you, would you still pursue your purpose? If no one ever said, I see what you're doing, would you still do it? Because if your motivation depends on people's approval, you will never fulfill your assignment. People are too inconsistent, too distracted, too preoccupied with their own lives to give you the constant support you think you need. And even if they do applaud you today, what happens when they stop? Will you quit? Will you doubt yourself? That is why you cannot build your life on the foundation of validation. Look at the great leaders of history. They were all doubted, criticized, and misunderstood. Noah built the ark while people laughed at him. Joseph shared his dream and his own brothers rejected him. Jesus himself was questioned by those he came to save. If these men waited for approval before stepping into their calling, they would have never fulfilled their destiny. And the same applies to you. Your purpose is not a group project. It is not up for discussion. It does not need a second opinion. Stop waiting for people to agree with what God has already confirmed in your spirit. If you see the vision, that is enough. If you feel the calling, that is enough. Stop looking around and start looking within. The validation you need is not external, it is internal. And let me warn you, the more you grow, the more people will question you. The more you achieve, the more people will doubt you. Some will criticize because they don't understand. Others will oppose you because they are intimidated. And some will simply remain silent, watching to see if you fail. But none of that matters, because your success is not determined by public opinion. It is determined by your obedience to your assignment. You see, an eagle does not ask permission to fly. It does not hold back just because the pigeons don't understand its altitude. It spreads its wings and soars. Likewise, you must move forward even if no one claps. You must rise even if no one notices. Because destiny is not for those who wait for permission. It is for those who take action despite opposition. And let me tell you something else. Many of the people you are waiting for validation from are not even qualified to approve your vision. How can someone who has never built anything tell you how to build? How can someone who has never stepped into their purpose guide you in yours? Stop looking for confirmation from those who have never done what you are trying to do. Some people can't see your vision because it wasn't given to them. It was given to you. So my friend, today I challenge you. Stop explaining yourself. Stop waiting for approval. Stop hesitating because others don't see what you see. Move forward boldly. Work in silence. Build in faith. And let your results speak for you. Because purpose does not need permission and destiny does not wait for applause. Now, go and fulfill your assignment. An eagle does not ask permission to fly. It does not look to the left or right to see if other birds approve. It does not wait for encouragement or validation before spreading its wings. It simply soars. That is because the eagle understands something most people fail to grasp. Its ability to fly is already inside of it. It does not need confirmation to be what it was created to be. And that is the mindset you must have if you want to fulfill your purpose. Too many people are waiting for approval, waiting for support, waiting for the right time. But life does not wait for you to be ready. Purpose does not pause until you feel confident. Destiny does not wait for a perfect moment. You must rise now with what you have and move forward with what you know, because if you keep waiting, you will wait forever. Look at nature. Do you see an eagle stopping mid-air to ask the pigeons if it is flying too high? No, the eagle simply flies because that is what it was born to do. Likewise, you must stop explaining yourself. Stop asking for permission to be great. Stop looking for approval to do what you were created to do. If the vision is inside of you, that is all the confirmation you need. Many people live their lives grounded, not because they lack the ability to soar, but because they have surrounded themselves with those who cannot see beyond the ground. If you keep looking for encouragement from people who have never flown, they will only hold you down. Some people will never understand your ambition because they were never meant to fly at your altitude. That is why you must stop lowering yourself to fit into spaces that were never designed for you. And understand this, when an eagle soars, it does not fly with a flock, it flies alone. Because destiny often requires separation. There will be times when you have to walk alone, build alone, believe alone. But do not be afraid of isolation. Do not be afraid when people don't understand. Do not be discouraged when those around you can't see what you see, because vision is personal. God did not give it to them, He gave it to you. This is why many people never fulfill their calling. They are too concerned with opinions. They are too distracted by doubt. They waste time explaining their dreams to people who were never meant to understand. But let me tell you something. When an eagle spreads its wings, it does not ask the wind for permission. It simply takes off. And you must do the same. You were not created to stay on the ground. You were not designed to live at low levels. You were built to rise, to achieve, to fulfill something greater than yourself. But that will never happen if you keep waiting for the world to recognize your potential. You must decide within yourself that now is the time to move. Now is the time to build. Now is the time to soar. And do not be surprised when people question you. Do not be surprised when they try to pull you back. Some will doubt you simply because they cannot see what you see. Some will criticize you because your elevation exposes their stagnation. And some will try to stop you because your growth threatens their comfort. But none of that matters, because when an eagle is in the sky, it does not worry about the noise on the ground. So I ask you today, how long will you wait? How long will you seek approval? How long will you let fear hold you back? The sky is open. The wind is blowing. The only thing left to do is spread your wings. Do not hesitate. Do not look back. Do not second guess yourself. Fly. Because purpose does not need permission and destiny does not need approval. Now go and make it happen. One of the greatest mistakes you can make in life is living for the approval of others. Many people wake up every day not to fulfill their purpose, but to impress people who don't even notice them. They work hard, not to make an impact, but to receive applause. They measure their success, not by their own growth, but by how many people are watching. But let me tell you something. If you live for applause, you will die in disappointment. Because applause is temporary. People will cheer for you today and forget about you tomorrow. They will celebrate you when it benefits them and ignore you when it doesn't. If your motivation depends on their approval, you will never be consistent. You will rise and fall based on their opinions. You will keep changing directions just to keep them happy. But life was never meant to be lived like that. You were not created to be controlled by the applause of people. You were created to fulfill an assignment. And here's what you must understand. Purpose and applause do not always go together. Sometimes fulfilling your purpose means being misunderstood. It means being overlooked. It means working in silence when no one is watching. It means staying committed even when people stop clapping. Because purpose is not about making people happy, it's about making an impact. Look at the great men and women who changed history. They did not wait for permission to step into their calling. They did not live for applause. They did what they were born to do, even when no one believed in them. Noah built the ark when people laughed at him. Moses led the Israelites when they doubted him. Jesus carried out his mission even when he was rejected, because true purpose is not determined by how many people approve. It is determined by how faithful you are to your assignment. Heaven is at your purpose if you are fully assigned. You must make a decision. Will you live for applause or will you live for purpose? Because if you chase applause, you will always be chasing. The moment you achieve one thing, you will need another round of approval to keep going. And before you know it, your entire life will be controlled by the opinions of others. But if you live for purpose, you will not need validation. You will keep going even when no one sees. You will stay committed even when no one claps. Because your motivation will come from within, not from the outside. Think about a seed planted in the ground. It grows in silence. No one sees the process. No one praises it while it is underground. But when the time is right, it breaks through the soil and the world finally sees what was happening all along. Your life is the same. If you stay focused on your purpose, your results will speak for you. You won't have to prove yourself. You won't have to beg for recognition. The fruit of your work will be all the evidence you need. And let me warn you, when you stop chasing applause, some people will misunderstand you. They will wonder why you don't seek their validation. They will question why you don't follow the crowd. But that is because they do not understand what drives you. They are controlled by opinions, but you are controlled by vision. They move for attention, but you move for impact. And that is why you must stay focused. Do not let their confusion distract you. Do not let their expectations slow you down. Keep building, keep working, keep moving forward. Because at the end of your life, the applause will fade, the opinions will not matter. The only thing that will remain is the impact you made. Did you fulfill your assignment? Did you do what you were created to do? That is the real question. So stop looking around and start looking within. Stop waiting for people to recognize you. Stop chasing applause and start chasing purpose. Because true success is not measured by how loud the applause is. It is measured by how faithful you are to your calling. Too many people are working hard just to be seen. They wake up early, stay up late, push through challenges, not because they are driven by purpose, but because they want recognition. They want someone to notice, someone to clap, someone to say, well done. But let me tell you something. If your hard work is for applause, you are working for the wrong reason. Because life does not reward effort that is desperate for attention. It rewards effort that produces impact. The greatest mistake you can make is thinking that hard work alone is enough. There are many people who work hard but never go anywhere. Many who sacrifice but never see results. Not because they aren't putting in the effort, but because their effort is not focused on something meaningful. They spend their lives proving themselves instead of producing something of value. They waste time trying to be appreciated instead of making a real difference. But let me ask you, what will last longer? Applause or impact? Recognition or results? Approval or purpose? You see, when a farmer works hard, he does not work for people to admire his effort. He works for the harvest. He plows the land, plants the seeds, and waters the soil. Not so people will clap for him, but so he can reap what he has sown. And when the season comes, he does not have to convince anyone that he worked hard. The harvest speaks for itself. This is the mindset you must have. Stop trying to prove how hard you are working. Stop looking for someone to say, I see you. Just produce results and your work will speak for itself. The problem with many people is that they are distracted by opinions. They work hard, but then they slow down because no one is praising them. They push forward, but then they hesitate because no one is noticing. But let me tell you, if your motivation comes from outside, you will never be consistent because people are inconsistent. Today they support you, tomorrow they forget about you. If you depend on them, you will never have stability. You must learn to work in silence, to build in the dark, to stay committed even when no one sees. Because true success does not come from being noticed. It comes from being effective. And here's another truth. Not everyone will celebrate you. Not everyone will acknowledge your hard work. Some will ignore it. Some will pretend not to see it. And some will even try to discourage you. But that should not matter, because real success is not about how many people are watching. It is about how much impact you are making. The greatest leaders in history did not succeed because people clapped for them. They succeeded because they stayed focused on their assignment. Look at the eagle. It does not fly high so other birds will admire it. It flies high because that is what it was created to do. It does not adjust its altitude based on whether other birds are watching. It simply soars. And that is exactly what you must do. Work hard, not for attention, but for excellence. Focus, not for approval, but for mastery. Commit yourself, not to be seen, but to fulfill your purpose. Because at the end of the day, people may forget how hard you worked, but they will never forget the impact you made. So stop seeking validation, stop waiting for recognition, stop slowing down because no one is clapping. Do the work. Build in silence. Focus on what matters, because the results will speak louder than any applause ever could. One of the greatest mistakes you can make in life is waiting for permission to step into your destiny. Too many people delay their purpose because they are waiting for approval. They wait for the right people to recognize them, the right circumstances to align, the right voices to say, now is your time. But let me tell you something. Destiny does not need approval. Purpose does not require permission. The calling on your life was given to you and you alone, and it is your responsibility to fulfill it, whether people approve or not. There are people right now who are stuck, not because they lack ability, not because they lack opportunity, but because they are afraid to move without validation. They have the talent, the vision, the assignment, but they hesitate because they don't want to offend anyone. They don't want to disappoint anyone. They are waiting for everyone around them to agree before they take the first step. But the truth is, if you wait for universal approval, you will never start, because not everyone will see what you see. Not everyone will believe in what you believe. Some will doubt you, some will criticize you, and some will simply remain silent. But that should not stop you. When an eagle is ready to fly, it does not look around to see if the other birds approve. It does not wait for permission to leave the ground. It spreads its wings and takes off because it was born to soar. Likewise, you must understand that your destiny is not up for discussion. It is not something to be voted on. You do not need anyone's confirmation to step into what God has already placed inside of you. Look at the great men and women who changed the world. They did not wait for approval. They did not wait for applause. They moved forward even when people doubted them. Noah built the ark while people mocked him. Joseph shared his dream and his own brothers rejected him. David stepped onto the battlefield when everyone told him he was too young. Even Jesus himself fulfilled his mission in the face of opposition, because destiny is not for those who wait, it is for those who move. And let me tell you something. Some of the people you are waiting for approval from will never give it to you. Not because you are wrong, but because they do not have the capacity to see what you see. Some people will doubt you simply because they have never seen anyone do what you are about to do. Some will question you because your growth makes them uncomfortable. and some will try to stop you because your success exposes their stagnation. But none of that should matter to you, because your purpose is not about them. It is about fulfilling what you were created to do. That is why you must stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to convince people that you are ready. Stop waiting for someone to say, go. If you know what you are supposed to do, do it. If you have been given a vision, pursue it. If the calling is clear, move forward, because at the end of your life, you will not be judged by how many people approved of you. You will be judged by whether you completed your assignment. Think about a seed. When it is planted in the ground, it does not wait for permission to grow. It does not ask the soil if it is okay to break through. It simply pushes upward because that is what it was designed to do. Your life is the same. If you keep waiting for someone to acknowledge your potential, you will remain buried forever. But if you decide to rise, if you decide to move forward, nothing can stop you. So I ask you today, what are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? Why are you delaying what you already know you were born to do? The time for hesitation is over. Step out in faith. Move with confidence, walk boldly in your assignment, because destiny does not need permission and purpose does not wait for applause. Many people live their entire lives waiting for someone to recognize their value. They work hard, they sacrifice, they push through challenges, yet deep down they are hoping that someone will notice, hoping that someone will acknowledge their effort, hoping that someone will say, I see you. But let me tell you something. If you live for recognition, you will always be a prisoner of people's opinions. Because the truth is, nobody owes you acknowledgement. Nobody is obligated to see your worth. You must know your own value, even when no one else does. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is attaching your self-worth to the approval of others. Some people will recognize your effort and some will not. Some will appreciate your work and some will ignore it. Some will clap for you and some will remain silent, even when they see you striving. But if you are waiting for people to validate you before you believe in yourself, you will always live in frustration, because people are inconsistent. Their attention shifts, their focus changes. One moment they are celebrating you, and the next moment they are distracted by something else. If your confidence is built on their approval, you will never be stable. Look at the great men and women who changed history. They did not wait for people to recognize them. They did not wait for applause. They believed in their assignment, even when no one else did. Noah built the ark when everyone doubted him. Joseph held on to his dream, even when his own family rejected him. David stepped onto the battlefield, even when people told him he was too small. They did not need public recognition to move forward. They moved forward because they knew what they carried inside of them. And that is what you must understand. Your value does not decrease just because people fail to recognize it. A diamond does not lose its worth just because someone walks past it without noticing. Gold is still gold, even if it is buried in the dirt, and you are still valuable, even if no one acknowledges your hard work. The problem with many people is that they are too focused on being noticed. They are constantly looking around, checking to see who is watching, who is clapping, who is paying attention. And in doing so, they lose sight of what truly matters. Purpose. Purpose is not about being seen. It is not about being recognized. It is about fulfilling your assignment, whether people acknowledge it or not. Some of the greatest work is done in silence. Some of the greatest impact happens behind the scenes. A tree does not need an audience to grow. The roots do their work underground, hidden from sight. Yet without those roots, the tree would never stand. Likewise, your effort is never wasted, even if no one sees it. The work you put in today will produce results in due time. And here's the reality. Not everyone will acknowledge your efforts, not because they are too focused on themselves. People are busy with their own lives, their own struggles, their own ambitions. They are not always paying attention, and that is okay. You must learn to work without needing validation, to build without waiting for recognition, to stay committed even when it feels like no one cares. Because in the end, your impact will be greater than any applause. Think about an eagle. It does not fly high so other birds will notice. It flies because that is what it was born to do. It does not adjust its altitude based on who is watching. It simply soars. And that is how you must live. Do what you were created to do. Work hard, not for approval, but for excellence. Stay focused, not for applause, but for mastery. Because at the end of the day, people may forget how hard you worked, but they will never forget the impact you made. So stop looking for acknowledgement. Stop waiting for someone to say, I see you. Stop slowing down because people are not clapping. Your value does not come from recognition. It comes from what you produce. Keep working, keep building, keep moving forward. Because results speak louder than applause, and impact lasts longer than recognition. Now, go and fulfill your assignment. Life is too short to wait for approval, too precious to waste, seeking validation, too purposeful to be controlled by opinions. You were not created to live for applause. You were created to fulfill an assignment. And the truth is, nobody cares how hard you work until your results speak for you. So stop explaining, stop hesitating, and stop looking around for recognition. Work in silence, build with focus, move with confidence. Because purpose does not need permission and destiny does not wait for applause. You must be willing to soar, even if you have to fly alone. You must be determined to rise even when no one is watching. You must keep going, not because people recognize your effort, but because you know what you carry inside of you. And when the time is right, the world will see what you have been building all along. Because true success is not measured by applause, it is measured by impact. So today I challenge you, stop waiting, stop seeking validation, and start moving. Your purpose is calling, your assignment is waiting, and your destiny is in your hands. Go forward with boldness, work with excellence, and let your results speak louder than words. Good luck on your journey, and may you rise to the heights you were born to reach. Thank you.